Am I the a-hole for demanding to go through my brother-in-law and his GF's bags if they are staying with us? Background. I have a pretty severe dairy allergy. I break out in hives, struggle to breathe, and have to carry 2 EpiPens with me everywhere.
IFGetN daí my system. I wind up in DR.
My in-laws know this and have been extremely accommodating since my fiancé and I started dating 5 years ago. When we moved in together 2 years ago, we set strict rules for our home because of my allergy. The big one is that no one is allowed to bring anything that contains dairy into our house ever, no matter what. On to the current story. My BIL started dating his girlfriend a year and a half ago. They came to visit us together for the first time a year ago. My fiancé made sure my BIL explained my allergy to his girlfriend, and our no dairy rule. 2 days into their stay, she bought dairy products and cooked lunch for herself when we weren't home. I ended up in the ER because of cross-contamination. She apologized and explained she hadn't understood how serious my allergy was. We managed to put the situation behind us since both my fiancé and I currently have and want to keep a good relationship with my BIL. The 2 of them came for a second visit 9 months ago. We had a video call with BIL and his girlfriend before the trip to make sure she understood the severity of my allergy and how serious we are about the no dairy rule. During their second trip, I was taking out the trash and found candy bar wrappers and an empty milkshake container in the guest room trash, the room she was staying in. Even after she saw how serious my allergy is, and how I ended up in the ER, she still brought dairy into our house. I confronted her when they got back. She and BL had a huge fight. BL went through her stuff and threw out everything she had with dairy. We kicked out his girlfriend. BL stayed for the rest of the planned trip. BL and his girlfriend worked out the relationship after the trip and are still together. Since their second trip, BIL has come alone since I don't trust his girlfriend in our house. Well, BIL is planning a new trip to visit us, and his girlfriend wants to come too. At first, we just said no, we don't trust her. But since we know this is important to BIL, we came up with what we believe is a good compromise. She can come and stay at our place, but we will look through her bags every time she comes back to our place. And if she doesn't accept that she can stay at a hotel or stay home, now I am being called an asshole for treating her like a criminal and that checking her bag is an invasion of privacy. So AITA for demanding to go through her bag if she is staying at my house? Update 1. I didn't plan on writing an update, especially not so soon, but a lot has happened in just 1 day. But first, I want to clear up some misconceptions around their second visit to our home. I did not get sick from BIL's GF having candy bars and a milkshake cup in the trash, or some candy bars in her bag. That wasn't the problem. The issue was that while knowing our no dairy house rule, had not only seen but also been responsible for me going into anaphylaxis shook and had gotten an in-depth explanation of my allergy and why it is important to us to keep our home dairy-free, she still brought my known allergen into my house, my safe space. That is why we fought with her and kicked her out of our house. On to the update. After the first 500 or so comments telling me I am an idiot for even considering letting this woman, who is a danger to my health, back into my house, I realized I was listening way too much to the part of me who just wanted to keep the peace and was downplaying the seriousness of the past incidents in my mind. I kept thinking the first time she might not have known how serious my allergy was, and it was an accident. And since I didn't get sick the second time she brought dairy into my home, I was exaggerating how bad it was. I know it sounds insane, but after dealing with people who don't take allergies seriously for years, I've gotten used to apologizing and even downplaying my allergy to others. I sat down with my fiancé and discussed the whole situation. He explained how he also doesn't want BIL's GF back in our home, but since I was willing to give her another chance, and it was my health affected by her previous actions, he felt I should make the final decision. He ended up texting BIL to tell him our original no-answer stand, that he is welcome to stay with us, but she is not allowed in our house. Especially since she hasn't even apologized for breaking our rule again, after she sent me to the ER the first time they visited, and I'm his family, and my health and well-being are more important to him than BL visiting. I wasn't here for this part, but this is what my fiancé told me happened. After he sent that message, BIL called him and they talked. Turns out BL's GF had told him that she reached out after their second trip, that we talked, and I forgave her, but wasn't ready to have her back in my house yet. She has asked him to come with every time he has visited us. BL always told her no, and that she would only be allowed to come with when I told him I was ready to have her back in my house. He only asked if she could come since it had been 9 months, and as far as he knew, I had forgiven her. According to my fiancé, BIL was extremely apologetic. I haven't had time to talk directly with him yet, but we have planned a video chat to get everything worked out tomorrow. The reason my BL didn't ask me directly about the situation and believed his GF is because he is aware how traumatic an allergic reaction is to me, and that I hate to talk about it after since I cannot stand relive the situation. If anyone is interested, I can post a second update after I talk to my BIL tomorrow, and hopefully have a final conclusion to this whole thing. Update 2. AITA for demanding to go through my BIL and his GF's bags if they are staying with us, so I have talked to my BIL. We had a long and emotional conversation. I won't post it all here, since some of the stuff we discussed is personal, but I still wanted to update you guys to start. BL kept apologizing and saying he should have checked with us, not just believed his GF, or now ex-GF. He went on to explain how the reason he wanted to talk with me today instead of yesterday after the call with my fiancée was because he felt like he had already failed us for believing his GF. We do not agree with this at all, and do not blame him. So he wanted to show he truly is remorseful of everything that has happened, not just say the words, but show it through actions. After the call with my fiancée, he confronted his ex first tried to convince him that I was lying and trying to ruin their relationship. That didn't work, so she tried to manipulate him with tears. BIL explained it as now that he has fully seen all of her crazy behavior, he immediately saw how manipulative she is. A lot more happened, but I won't go into detail, since it isn't my story but my BIL's. The end result is that he broke up with her. He also told us more that we didn't know, including how they actually broke up after the second time they visited us. He didn't want to be with someone who clearly didn't care about the people in his life by putting someone in danger. He explained they were broken up for about 2 months, and only got back together after she sent him a message saying she had reached out to me and we had worked things out because she felt awful, but didn't expect anything from him. Now it is clear that it was just manipulation to get back together with him. More we didn't know is also that BIL hasn't been happy where he currently lives for the last year or so, and one of the reasons he often comes to visit us is because he has been considering moving to our area. So I have a feeling she has been doing all of the crazy stuff in hopes we would blame BIL, and if we were mad or low contact with him, he wouldn't move. More manipulation, I won't put it past her. BIL also sent out a message to their extended family explaining the whole situation, in case she reaches out to the family, and this way, I won't have to relive the trauma surrounding an allergic reaction to explain what's been going on. I also told BIL and my fiancé about what it is like for me to have a serious allergic reaction for the first time.
What it feels like and the absolute horror go through.
That was definitely the hardest part of the conversation for me. Neither my fiancé or I blame BIL. The way I see it, he is a good guy who sees the best in people and who has been manipulated by his ex. He is still more than welcome to stay with us, and with everything he told us about how he has been feeling lately, we are excited to have him stay with us, and hopefully be able to help him out with everything going on. A lot more was said and talked about, but I think these are the important parts for the update. If I have forgotten anything, I will add an edit here. Also, thank you to everyone who commented and helped me with the situation. Hopefully, this is the last part, and we can go back to focusing on our wedding. Story 2. My F21 boyfriend, M24, opened our relationship. Now that 4 finally found someone, he wants to close it. I come from a small town where everyone knows each other. I was raised in a very strict Catholic household. I had a pretty sheltered life growing up, no dating, no parties, none of that stuff. So when I moved to the city for college, it was a whole new world for me. I had total freedom.
That's when I met my boyfriend.
He's a little older, and honestly, the most amazing person I had ever met. He taught me so much about life and love and made everything feel exciting. I was completely over the moon when we became a couple. We've been together for 3.5 years now. I had so many firsts with him. Naturally, I assumed we would get married. He was my one and only. Then about 8 months ago, he sat me down and told me he felt like our relationship was losing its spark. I was shocked because I thought we were doing really good. For a second, I thought he was about to break up with me. But instead, he said we should open up the relationship and explore polyamory. He said it's more normal now, and that it could actually help bring us closer. I was hurt, like really hurt. I couldn't believe he'd even ask me that. But I loved him too much. He's my first love. I didn't want to lose him, so I said yes. He made some rules like no bringing other people into our beds, we live separately anyway, and to keep things away from places we'd usually go. But honestly, I didn't care about the rules. I couldn't even imagine being with someone else. I only wanted him. But that first month, things didn't get better. I saw him less and less. He was always busy. I checked his social media and saw he started hanging out with some girl. She posted him all the time. I was burning with jealousy, but I didn't say anything. When I did see him, he was sweet like always, but it started to feel like he was just trying to make up for not being around. I felt like I was the one doing all the work planning stuff, texting first, chasing after him, holding on so tight while he felt far away. Then a few months ago, we were supposed to see a movie together, but he bailed on me last minute. I went anyway. While I was there, I ran into one of my friends, and she was with her older brother. We ended up watching the film together, Nosferatu, if you're wondering. Afterward, we grabbed some drinks and I started noticing how attractive and funny he was. I caught him looking at me a certain way too, like maybe he felt something too. I didn't pursue anything though this was all so new to me.
Liking someone else?
That felt so weird. I wasn't used to anyone but my boyfriend. He eventually found me on Instagram, and we started talking. I told him about the open relationship and being poly, and he was super chill about it. He said he was happy to spend time with me without worrying about cheating. We started hanging out more, and honestly, I didn't feel so alone anymore. I didn't feel like I had to beg someone for love. Even the little time I spent with my boyfriend started to feel enough, because my heart didn't feel so empty anymore. One day, after we'd become close friends, he just kissed me on the lips. And it hit me I had feelings for him. Sexual ones. We ended up hooking up not long after. It was amazing. I felt wanted, cherished. He was so gentle, so generous. I couldn't get enough of him. It felt like he balanced me out in a way I didn't know I needed. I finally understood what being poly could really mean, loving more than one person in a way that felt real and full. I grew very attracted. We even joined the gym together and started working out. He's a busy guy but always made time for me, always invited me into his world and his hobbies. I felt special. And giddy then this week, my boyfriend comes to me and says, "I think we should close the relationship and focus on each other." I was confused. I asked him, "Why? Things are going really good for us." He said it's time to think about the future and building something serious. Then he brought up religion. "You're Catholic. You should understand. If you want this to last, it has to just be the two of us." When I hesitated, he started guilt-tripping me, like I was doing something wrong. Like I wasn't thinking about us. I love him. I really do. But now,
I feel confused.
I feel upset. I didn't ask for any of this. He opened the door, and I just followed because I loved him.
And now that you found a little peace, a little joy, eu antes to shoot it all down.
It feels unfair. I don't know what to do. Here for advice and support. I feel so depressed about this issue. Also throw away TLDR. Boyfriend opened up relationship to become closer with me, instead it got worse. I finally start seeing someone else like he does now. He wants to close it, making me feel bad. Update. Thank you to everyone who offered advice, clarity, and support. I wanted to share where things stand now after having some difficult conversations. I spoke to my boyfriend and told him I don't want to close the open relationship. I've grown to really enjoy dating the other guy, and it's not something I agreed to just to experiment. I told him it should be a joint decision. You can't just open and close a relationship as you please, especially when someone else's feelings are involved. I also told him I was incredibly disappointed. He brought up my faith, knowing how much trauma and guilt I've carried from my religious upbringing and how felt manipulative and unfair. He didn't respond to my comments about religion, but instead said, "If you want a future with me, this needs to end, or we're done." I told him, "Then it's done." He got heated and said I was throwing away nearly 4 years of our relationship for a guy I've only been seeing for a few months, and tried to make me feel guilty. But I reminded him that he was the one who lost the spark, who wanted to sleep with other women, and who opened the relationship in the first place, not me. I just agreed because I loved him and hoped he would realize I'm the only one for him. I didn't ask for this. After some time, he calmed down. We had a long, emotional conversation. He cried. He apologized. He told me he should have ended things instead of trying to fix our relationship with polyamory. He admitted he still loves me and that seeing me happy with someone else made him feel jealous, even though he knew he had no right to be. He said he probably deserves the pain, and he respects my decision to end it. We hugged and agreed that even though our relationship is over, the first 2 years were beautiful. We'll always have a place in each other's hearts, even though relationship has run its course. Later, I met up with other guy I've been seeing. I told him everything. I ended things with my boyfriend because I didn't want to let him go. I told him I'm not rushing into anything, that I don't expect him to give me all his time or energy right away, but I'd love to date and see where things go. That's when he opened up and told me that watching me stay with my boyfriend while we were seeing each other was hard. He said it hurt him, but he kept quiet because he liked me so much and he knew what he was getting into. He never intended to be in a polyamorous relationship, but only agreed to it because he really wanted to be with me and didn't want to lose the chance. He secretly hoped we'd break up because, in his words, "You deserve someone who wants you completely." He said he likes me a lot, sees a future with me, and wants also to just date each other for now. We're not rushing into exclusivity, but we've both agreed not to see other people and see how this naturally unfolds. ETA. We already know we like each other and don't want to see anyone else at the same time. I don't want to be in an exclusive relationship. I just want to take my time since I left my first long-term relationship. I hope that makes sense. So, even though I'm mourning the loss of my first relationship that meant the world to me for a long time, I feel hopeful. I feel like I'm stepping into something new, something healthy, something that only involves just two people. Oh, thank you all again for helping me find clarity in a really confusing time. TLDR. He gave me an ultimatum. I chose to end it. Now I'm dating and getting to know the other guy.